I can see more of you joining in and the number of participants increasing rapidly. That's great. You can quickly ping your friends and others also who registered and wanted to be here in case they've forgotten, so that we have more people and we can share the very important information we are going to talk about today reaches most of you. Great. So till the time more of you are joining in, we'll give it a couple of more minutes. So there are more people, and then we'll start talking about our esteemed panelists and going ahead with today's session. But before that, if all of you could just, help us understand that are you all students? Is there a parent or an educationist here? And if you're a student, what grades are you in?
Bhavya, Shweta, we have Dr. Sushma with us. Can you, just type it in the chat box? What grade are you in? Are you a teacher, professor? You just passed your 12th? Like, are you looking for colleges? Just like, let's make it a little bit more interactive session.
I think all of you are able to clearly see us and hear us. There's no issue there. Great. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Great. That's amazing, Ms. Shweta. So your child is in grade 8 and you're keen on to exploring about liberal arts education. That's great. That is still in 8th and you're still exploring, already exploring options for him. That's amazing. Thank you so much for introduction. We look forward to, answering most of your questions. You just passed 12th in commerce field. Great, Bhavya. So this is exactly the right place where you are at. You'll get to, explore a lot of options you can look at. Okay, Aniket, you're in grade 12th right now. So a lot of stress about both, I'm assuming. But thank you so much for taking our time to join us today. That's great. Good evening, Aniket. Okay, what about others? Can you help us understand that? Okay, which grade are you in? Are you a parent? Are you an educationist? Or even if you could let us know what are your expectations from the session, what are some areas you want us to cover, so we'll make sure we'll, cater to all those.
Aniket likes to explore early. That's why he's here. I think that's great. That's great. The early you start, the better.
Amazing. Yogesh is saying I'm in undergraduation second year BBA. Oh, great. Okay, Ms. Josna here is an educationist. Thank you so much for joining in, ma'am. Welcome. Great. So, Professor Gopi, I think we can get started now.
Yeah.
Great, perfect. So as more people will keep on joining on, I already see the numbers increasing, but let's get started and not keep those who join on time keep waiting. So Arshi, let's start.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. Good evening. So my name is Arshi Bansal and I'm a career coach at Mindler. And I have with me Ms. Sana Jamal, who's a senior career coach. Mindler is an edtech company offering comprehensive career guidance solution for students, parents, educators, and schools through AI-powered five-dimensional career assessment and best fit matches. Now, that's just about us. We have speakers from Sai University, so we will be interacting with them. They'll be helping us a lot. So let's not waste any more time and move forward. So we have with us today Dr. T.S. Gopi Rethniraj, who is Professor of Physics, Sustainability and Public Policy in the School of Arts and Sciences of Sai University. He did his BSc and MSc in Physics, followed by a PhD in Nuclear Engineering from University of Illinois, USA in 2005. Dr. Rethniraj has over 2 decades of professional research and teaching experience clearance in science communication, nuclear engineering, physics, international security, public policy, energy sustainability, and climate change. Prior to his academic career, he was a science reporter for the Indian Express in Mumbai during the later half of the 1990s. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We also have with us Dr. Vivek, who's the Director of Admissions Outreach and Communications, Sai University, and Mr. Sanjeev, who's the Assistant Director, Admissions Outreach and Communications for Sai University. So over to you, sir. I think let's not waste any more time.
Okay. Should I start?
Great. So thank you so much, Arshi, for the introduction. And again, thank you so much to all our speakers who have joined us today. Now, like we were interacting with all of you in the beginning, and some of you said that you are even, passed out grade 12. Some of you would have looked at different college options. Some of you are still exploring, right? What colleges to go to, what courses to study. So today, in today's session for the next hour, when we are going to talk about Sai University, how they are, providing different interdisciplinary courses, what major minors you can pick up, what are the different options of scholarships, and how you have so many options to choose from, and also, helping you with world-class facilities to get on-hands experience. And the professors from the university and the admission team themselves are here, and there could be nobody better who can give you an idea about their entire program in university. So without any further ado, I would hand over to Sir and would ask Professor Gopi to tell us about the university, and then we would move on to talking about various programs as well.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sinha, and thank you, Ms. Arshi, for your kind introduction. As introduced, I'm a faculty member in the School of Arts and Sciences at Sai University. So I will spend a few minutes introducing the audience about the university and the mission of the university. And I would prefer the session to be more interactive rather than me giving a lecture. It would be nice to have an interactive session today. I'm sure you all wanted to know more about the university, and I'm sure you would have gone through the university website to get some general details about the university. The university, Sai University, came into being, and it is the brainchild of one remarkable individual, our Chancellor, Mr. K.V. Ramani, who has set aside his hard-earned wealth to establish this university. As you might have heard or read, our Chancellor, Mr. K.V. Ramani, is a tech entrepreneur who was very successful in finding two software companies, and he exited from the industry and used his wealth for philanthropic activities for the past 2 decades. And the university is the most ambitious of this mission, which was established through the legislative process of Sai University Act 2018, which was passed in the State Assembly of Tamil Nadu government. Sai University is a state-private university which enjoys full autonomy to offer courses across the spectrum. So unlike other colleges which are affiliated to other universities, Sai University has enormous freedom, intellectual freedom to design courses to offer degrees. And we are also fully in compliance with the University Grants Commission regulations. We are a UGC recognized university, and so all our degrees and courses that are offered are UGC recognized and compliant. Having said about the establishment of the university through the philanthropic vision of our Chancellor, founding Chancellor, Mr. K.V. Ramani, I can tell you that our Chancellor was not interested in creating another private university because we know that the country has a lot of private universities offering engineering and medical and standard courses. So the idea is to establish an international university. By international, we mean that our faculty who are working at Sai University have been trained both nationally and internationally. They come with enormous international experience. And the curriculum which we offer, the liberal arts curriculum, liberal arts, science, technology, and policy curriculum, is something that borrows the best elements from the best universities, the liberal arts universities in the West. Name it, like Stanford, Harvard, or Yale, or Cambridge, or Oxford. We borrow the best elements from these universities to design our curriculum. Our curriculum is by definition interdisciplinary, about which I'll talk later. Now, I have said that the university came into being, as a result of the philanthropic mission of our founding chancellor, who has given his hard-earned wealth to create this university in Chennai. We are located near Mahabalipuram, about 50 kilometers south of Chennai. We will be admitting our third batch in 2023. So we admitted our first batch in 2021. We admitted our second batch in 2022, and the third batch will be joining us in August 2023. Currently, we have 3 schools: the School of Arts and Sciences, the School of Law, and the School of Computing and Data Sciences. These are the 3 schools that are currently operating in the university. And in future, there are plans to establish a School of Medicine, a School of Technology, and School of Commerce and Business. So these are future plans for the university. But currently, what we have in place are the 3 schools that I mentioned, which offer degrees in law, which offer various interdisciplinary majors and minors in School of Arts and Sciences, and likewise a BTech program in data science and computing, which can also be termed as an interdisciplinary BTech program, about which I'll talk later. So I said about the founding mission, which originates in Mr. Ramani's vision, but you also need stellar individuals to implement this program. And the university has been very lucky in getting a remarkable individual as a Vice Chancellor, Professor Jamshed Bharucha, who is the founding Vice Chancellor of Sai University. Professor Jamshed Bharucha has a distinguished academic career, and he has held academic positions and leadership positions in some of the top universities in the United States before coming to India. He was provost at Tufts University, and he was also the dean at Dartmouth College, which is one of the Ivy League universities. And before coming, the last position that he held in the United States is as the president of Cooper Union, which is a boutique arts school, arts university located in New York. Professor Jamshed Bharucha, besides these vast administrative experience in top universities in the field, is also a very distinguished scholar in cognitive neuroscience and psychology. So we can proudly say that we have one of the most credible names to head the academic team to fulfill the mission of the university. And I can say if Mr. Ramani's vision had attracted Professor Jamshed Bharucha to come to Chennai, it is again Professor Jamshed Bharucha's credentials that attracted some of the top scholars to join the university as faculty members to teach liberal arts courses in the university. So this is the broad introduction about the university, and I can spend a few minutes talking about the curriculum. I mentioned that we follow a liberal arts, science, technology, law, and policy curriculum. What does it mean? For example, in the School of Arts and Sciences, the student has the option to pursue major in any of the traditional disciplines like physics or economics or political science or psychology. So these are some of the standard majors that are available to pursue in the School of Arts and Sciences. The School of Arts and Sciences graduate also has an opportunity to minor in a subject which is within the School of Arts and Sciences or even across the school. So a School of Arts and Science student can minor in computing and data science or data science. And likewise, a BTech student studying in the School of Arts, studying in the School of Computing and Data Science can minor in economics or minor in physics or minor in any of the disciplines that are offered in other schools, including a minor in law. But the law student doesn't have much leeway because the law degree is highly regulated by the Bar Council of India. So except for the law school, the School of Computing and Data Sciences and the School of Arts and Sciences offer enormous opportunity for students to pursue interdisciplinary interests beyond their own chosen major. So this is something that is not possible in a standard arts and science college or in a typical engineering university or in an engineering degree. And this is possible because in the first year, all students in the School of Arts and Sciences and the School of Computing and Data Sciences go through a set of common courses, which we call as the foundational courses. And the university has identified about 7 or 8 foundational courses, which are very broad in its orientation, interdisciplinary in its structure, which gives the student a very broad intellectual exposure to various fields of inquiry before they even decide to choose their major or minor. So the first year essentially gives the student a broad intellectual exposure, which allows them to choose different paths within the schools for which they have applied. So this is what I would like to share with the students, prospective students, parents, and educationists who are attending this webinar. And now I think I've given enough background about the university and what kind of institution we are and what kind of courses we offer. And if there are any specific questions from the audience, I'll be happy to answer. And any questions relating to admissions and other procedural matters, I think there are individuals from the Dr. Vivek and Mr. Sanjeev from the admissions team are here who will take those questions. And any questions regarding academics and other matters relating to faculty, courses, credit system, I'll be happy to take it.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Gopi. Students and everybody in the audience, if you have any questions you would want to ask, this is the right time. Anything about, like Sir said, anything about the system you want to ask. I saw some of you, putting in the wow emojis when Sir was talking about the interdisciplinary nature of the university and how you could pick up your major and minors. And also it was great, and I'm sure that a university led by such experienced scholars is going to give you a world-class experience with some great faculty members. And till the time all of you put your questions in the chat box, I'd request Sir if he could tell us more about what kind of major minors can students combine and pick up from. That would be great, because I know a lot of the people in the audience, like they said in the beginning, are looking at exploring and are really, really, thrilled by this interdisciplinary nature. But what are the subjects which could be picked up, and how does the evaluation or the credit system works after the students have picked up their major and minor? So over to you.
Okay, thank you. I'll take up those questions. As I mentioned in the beginning, the School of Law is a highly regulated program, so it follows the guidelines of the Bar Council of India. So they do not have much leeway in terms of choice. They have to follow the template that is provided by the Bar Council of India. And it's a very standard curriculum, which any law graduate will go through. And even within those constraints, the law students will also have some flexibility to pursue interests outside the chosen field. They do not have the same, choice-based credit system, which the School of Arts and Sciences and CDS students have. But within whatever constraints that the Bar Council sets, even they do have a lot of leeway to pursue their academic interests. Now coming to what type of courses, for example, the School of Arts and Sciences. So they offer both BSc degree and BA degree. It could be a 3-year degree or a 4-year degree if the student wants to pursue a honors option. Because today the UGC has clearly said the honors degree will be given only for a 4-year program, not for a 3-year program. So the student can exit after 3 years, but they will get a BA or a BSc degree. So a student can get a BA in English literature, media studies, gender studies, all kinds of combination, a BA in psychology, or even BSc in psychology, a BSc in physics, life sciences, even a BSc in computer science. So these are the different degree paths for the student within the School of Arts and Sciences. And in the School of Computing and Data Sciences, which offer a 4-year BTech program, the student can get a BTech in data science, or a BTech in computing, or a BTech in computing and data science. So these are the different degree paths available within each of these 2 schools. Now I'll come to you about how the student pursues their credit requirements. For example, in the case of computing and data sciences BTech, by the end of 4 years, they need to have X number of credits. It's about 160 credits. So a 4-credit course, for example, is a course that has a 4 hours of contact per week with the instructor. That's it. Usually colleges offer 3-credit courses and 2-credit courses. So in Sai University, a lot of courses are 4-credit courses. Some may have 2-credit course and 3-credit course, but majority of the courses are 4-credit courses. So the total graduating requirement is about 160 credits in 4 years for a BTech student. And out of this 160 credit, about 50% will have to be in the chosen major. For example, if the student is planning to do a computing major or a data science major, there are an identified set of courses which the student will have to take. So typically 50% of the total graduating credits should be in the chosen major. So the remaining 50% of the credit is distributed. For example, I mentioned in my introductory remarks that all students will have to take about 7 or 8 courses, which are called foundational courses. So these foundational courses are meant to provide general education on a range of topics, which provides a broad intellectual exposure for the students. So these could be courses on writing and communication, courses on critical thinking, logic, courses on environment and sustainability, because the UGC and also the new education policy has recommended that all students, irrespective of what they are doing, should take at least 1 course in environment and sustainability, given the importance of this topic. So it's a kind of an environmental literacy course. And then you also have courses, 2 very interesting courses, which are called foundational courses in Sai University. One is the Global Challenges course, and the other is a Frontier course. The Global Challenges course is taught by Professor Sherman, who is based in Boston, and he brings a range of international experts who are working in different fields. And so every week, the student is exposed to some topical issues that are confronting the world. It could be an Ukraine war, or it could be financial instability, it could be some terrorism, or various challenges that are facing the world today are covered in a seminar-style format in the Global Challenges course, which is a team-taught course. So this course is taught by a team of international experts who are working in different universities. Some of them are not even academics. Some of them are, well-known business leaders or thought leaders who are very famous in their respective fields. And then you also have Frontiers course, which introduces the cutting edge developments in different fields, from medicine to technology to economics. You take any field. So in this course, a student gets to know what are the big problems that are being addressed by the top researchers in that field. So these kind of courses are offered very early. So the Frontiers and the Global Challenges are offered in the first year, which gives them this broad exposure so that the student has more understanding and inputs to determine what they want to do in their life and also what they want to pursue within Sai University. So this 1 year of preparation gives them enough training, because a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old enters the university without much exposure. All that they have studied until then is a standard textbook curriculum. So here, for the first time, they are given this broad exposure, which allows the student to even the student, when they come join us, they have some predetermined ideas, right? They must have read something, or they must have heard from their friends or family, and so based on that, they may have formed some opinion about what they want to do in college. But this 1 year of preparation through this foundation courses actually gives them enough input to make more informed choice about what they want to do. So a BSc student in physics, for example, in the School of Arts and Sciences, the total graduating credit will be 120 credit hours. So 120. So within that, the 50% of the course load will have to be in the chosen major, and the remaining is distributed across these foundational courses. And then the student can also choose a minor in another field. So the minor could be an interdisciplinary minor. It could be cognitive neuroscience, which borrows from biology, chemistry, physics, computing, psychology. So what we call as interdisciplinary major is something that involves 2 or 3 standard disciplines. For example, if you look at biophysics borrows heavily from physics and chemistry and technology to study problems in life sciences. Likewise, there are interdisciplinary combos. For example, politics, economics, and international relations. So these are some combinations which the student can choose as a major. Rather than going only for, the student can also choose to do a BA in economics. And a student who is not decided about what they want to do, but they want to pick some economic skills, can choose a major in economics, politics, and international relations, or economics, philosophy, and international relations. All these combinations is possible. So this is what we call major-minor combination. The major can be a standard disciplinary major like physics or economics, or it could be even a combination of these, which allows the student to develop interdisciplinary skills. But even outside these majors, the foundational courses are interdisciplinary in nature. So through the foundation courses, the university ensures that the students are getting this interdisciplinary orientation in their education. So that's about the kind of courses that we offer. And again, the School of Computing and Data Sciences, a student who is pursuing a BTech degree in data science or computing can do a minor in law. If they can take about 6 or 7 courses in law, because I said only 50%, roughly 50% of the course load is major specific courses. So they have a lot of freedom to choose, which is not possible in most what we call engineering universities, because most engineering colleges and universities follow the AICTE template, which is very standard, and they have very little scope to pursue interest beyond the chosen major. For example, a BTech student in a regular engineering college in computer science or mechanical engineering will be mostly studying only topics or courses relating to mechanical engineering. And in the first year, they might take courses in what we call language and mathematics and physics as required. But that is also set by the template that they receive. Whereas a BTech student in Sai University can actually determine what they want to do for the remaining 50% of their credit requirement. So a BTech student can do a law minor. A BTech student can also do an economics, because today this combination of data science and economics is also very valuable in the marketplace. So it is entirely left for the student. Or if a student is really interested in pursuing languages or literature, they can also do a minor in literature while having a BTech in what you call data science or computing. So any kind of combination is possible, provided they also meet the total graduating credit requirement as set by the UGC, because we have to follow the broad directives which are provided to the university. And within that, as a private university, we have a lot of freedom to innovate curriculum and course offerings. So that's what we are currently doing.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. And I was just listening to all the combinations and I was like, wow, such interesting combinations to choose from. I was wondering if I can go back to college and, pick up and customize it that way as it is possible these days. But great.
I can give you the example. For example, Sana, it's like going to a buffet. There are a lot of things in the offering. So you go and pick what you want to have, rather than being thrust to the standard menu, which you may or may not like. For example, in the case of an a la carte, once you have chosen, you don't have choice to, you have only a choice to reject or order another, which means you have to go for another course offering. Whereas in a buffet type of system, you can actually sample, before you decide which one you want to really focus on. This kind of sampling is what the student does in the first year. So they can go and sample different types of courses and then decide which one they want to really focus on, because they have more than a year and a half to really determine which they want to specialize or major in. So it doesn't mean that whatever you have done in the first year and a half is going to go to waste, because that will count towards your graduating requirement.
Makes sense.
Because whatever the courses that you take or even experiment, suppose if you take a few courses in philosophy and then you decide, no, I don't want to do this, but it will count towards the total graduating credit. So it doesn't go waste, even twice, there's a twofold benefit. One is it meets your total graduating credit requirement. The other benefit is also, even if you decide to move on, whatever you learned in one or two courses will still enrich you. It's an intellectual, value addition for your college experience or university experience.
Sure. So whatever they've learned, it's never going to go in waste. Moreover, they can customize and choose as per what their interest is. We also have a couple of questions in the chat box, which I'll read out, and we can take 2-3 of them together. So there's a question around which subjects have high scope in countries abroad, and what could be considered good in sciences stream when we are looking at studying abroad. We know that it could be law dependent on the interest, but also if so, you could take it up in terms of what students usually prefer, and especially students who are looking at going abroad. There's another question specifically for MSc outside India and more in terms of USA, that with zoology honors, should I take conventional chemistry and botany in minors, or something else like a physiology or a microbiology course could also be taken in reference to MSc from US? And also if we could throw some more light on courses like biotechnology and options there. So,
okay.
Yes.
See, if you ask me, anything is a great course. I won't say this course is better than, for example, a student who's very passionate about literature. For that student, literature is the best thing to do in their life. For a student who's very passionate about philosophy, that would be the best. So one is students' interest and passion. It can be an area for which there is not a big job market, but if the student is very passionate about something, they will do very well in life. That is my bottom line. So in terms of what you call job opportunities, of course, STEM disciplines always have a great advantage, because if you have a computing and data science, the openings are more. And so in terms of volume of job availability, certainly a BTech has more options. But I would think that what students should look for is more fulfilling jobs, or something that is aligned to their own passion. Very often we pick our career choice, or we pick our courses based on peer pressure and about what others say. So very students don't really give much importance to what their inner voice tells, because every individual has an innate what you call talent and capacity in some field. Often this is actually dormant because we are responding to external environments, so we tend to choose that. But after some years, even a successful IT professional or an engineering graduate decide, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to do something else. So they drop and pursue themselves. So if they had listened to their inner voice very early, they would have done better, right? So that's what Sai University does. It allows that space for the student to discover that inner voice, which will help them identify what their true interest is. And because if you choose your true interest and passion, you will do really well. So that is my first take. For example, I believe that a physics training gives you enormous flexibility to shift to any discipline, because I'm a physicist. But I did so many other things in life. For example, even though I was trained initially in physics, I did journalism, then I did public policy, then I went to nuclear engineering. All this was possible because the kind of training that physics offers. Physics is one of the most exciting disciplines that I can say as a person who loved physics. So the same, somebody would have an interest in life sciences or biotechnology. Today, the life sciences is not progressing in the direction of traditional zoology or botany, because today a lot of problems are interdisciplinary in life sciences. For example, if you choose biotechnology or microbiology, it will have elements of different fields in addition to biology. So that is the direction in which so even if students who want to pursue a career in life sciences or biotechnology or microbiology, they should be prepared to learn more physics, chemistry, computing, data sciences, because all these fields and jobs are becoming truly interdisciplinary in nature. So sometimes students say that I don't like maths, so I want to choose biology. That's not an option anymore. Today, if you want to do very well in life sciences, you need to be open to even learning mathematics and computing. So this would be my sort of take. Today, if you choose a particular course, don't think it as a narrow choice. You have to try to develop as many skills around the major. That's what we emphasize through our interdisciplinary curriculum. Even when we say that we want our students to major in some standard discipline, for example, if they come to do a BA in psychology, we encourage them to have other skills outside psychology as well, because every field today is actually borrowing from other fields. So gone are the days when suppose if there is an economics graduate, an economics graduate today will do very well if they have very good computing skills or data analytics skills. So computing and data sciences is something that is going to enter many disciplines. So that is going to be a core skill requirement for all majors. So more the better. So while we emphasize that the student should have some depth, the disciplinary depth in a chosen course. For example, if a student has a psychology major or an economics major or a physics major or a biotech major, we always say that pick as many skills beyond the major, because that is going to give you a lot of advantage in employability. So very often when employers say that we need graduates who can think out of the box, what does it mean? Because if you are trained in a very narrow silo template, your capacity to think outside your discipline is very limited. But when you go into the real world, when you get into an organization, when you get into a real job, it is going to be very different from the textbook knowledge that you got through your college. You have to be able to integrate it with real world problems. So real world problems do not present themselves as chemistry problems or economics problems or physics problems. They present to us as problems, and those problems will require an appreciation in different fields. So, which is why we are insisting that don't really bother about what course or what major or minor. Pursue something that you are really interested in. But once you choose the major or minor, always keep an open mind about broadening your skill set, even after choosing, because that will give you, there are two advantages to this approach, because one is it is intellectually a very enriching experience. Secondly, and for example, it might also be the most important for most, it gives you an added advantage when you go for a job interview, because an employer is always going to choose a candidate who's going to come with multiple skills. We are actually not preparing you for your first job. We are preparing you for your fifth or sixth job as well. And today, the nature of jobs is fastly evolving. What you learned in college today might be completely redundant by the time you graduate. So, how do you overcome this challenge? The only way to overcome challenges, keep an open mind to learning outside your comfort zone, and emphasize on analytical skills, quantitative skills, and various other skills which can be quickly integrated to different fields. So that would be the approach of our curriculum and pedagogy. We are not really, even when we teach physics, of course, we are going to ensure that the student knows the requirements which everyone expects in a physics graduate or in a economics graduate or in a computing science graduate. But beyond that, we also prepare the students to face an uncertain future. So the uncertain future is something that can throw a lot of possibilities, right? We don't know what kind of jobs will emerge 5 years from now or 10 years from now. Nobody knows the answer. If any university says that we are preparing you for the next 30 years, it's simply a plain lie. Nobody knows what kind of technologies will be created, what kind of jobs will be created. All that we want in our graduates is to confidently face this future as it unfolds. You should be able to quickly learn a new skill. So if I want to put it more precisely, Sai University graduates should be able to pick a new skill that is going to be relevant for their jobs. So I'm not talking about what they are going to do in the 3 years or 4 years they spend with us. I'm actually more interested how they are going to do 5 years or 10 years from now. So that is the kind of orientation that we have in our courses, and the way we do is through this multidisciplinary training and curriculum and exposure. That's what we do. That's the value. Because today a lot of universities are promoting multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinarity, and all that. But what is the value? The value of this? The value of this is to prepare the students for an uncertain future.
Absolutely, sir. And we agree when you say that, the key to eventually succeeding is the constant learning and upskilling and skill building and going beyond just disciplinary depth, because the real world problems don't come with subjects attached to them. But great. Moving ahead, I think it would be great if Dr. Vivek or Mr. Sanjeev could tell us about, and I'm sure our audience would be very interested to understand the admission process at Sai University and the application dates, and are there any deadlines the students should be looking at? So, sir, if you could please throw more light on that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shana, and thank you, Professor Gopi. He has covered all the points. So quickly, we will talk about the admission process. So dear applicants, I would like to inform that for any university, admission process is very much important. And we being a new age and international university, our process reflects our unique model of education. It is holistic and multidimensional, taking into account interest, talent, critical thinking, communications, leadership quality, creativity, and aspirations. We want to have a diversity in our students, and for that, our admission process, we are not consider the academic achievement, but also consider the extracurricular and co-curricular activities. That means we follow the holistic approach in recruiting the student for Sai University. We, being an international university, we get the student from all over the globe, so that pan-India diversity is built, all the programs batch after batch, along with the linguistic diversity, sectorial diversity, merit student diversity, gender diversity. All these diversity will bring a rich peer groups. Eventually, the learning is only 60% inside the classroom, whereas a good percent of learning outside the classroom in the peers ecosystem. The learning becomes the strengthened and healthier, and which bring the vibrancy in the class and the campus. Quickly, I would like to brief about the prerequisite to get into the Sai University. So first, you have to candidate meet the eligibility criteria, can apply online. Go to our website www.saiuniversity.edu.in. Once you fill the online applications, our assessment team is there, director of admission team is there, who will assess the individual performance. And after the assessment, we have an evaluations process. So evaluations process, we check the academic ability, extracurricular and co-curricular achievement, internship, leadership roles, sports. We have a statement of purpose. We would like to know like why you would like to join specific programs, what is your area of interest. And last one is the essay writing test. It is 150 word. You have to write the essay in any topic. And then we have interactions with the senior people who will interact with you. And after the interactions, you will get the offer letter. So this is the admission process. And would like to explain about the why Sai University, because this is very much important. And as per our founder, Chancellor, Mr. K.V. Ramani, he always talk about the 5 pillars. So first very important pillar is the board of governance. So I would like to tell everyone, like we have a diverse board of directors. In that you can see one will be from the technology side, another will be from the space science, third person will be from the law side, fourth person will be from the education side. So all the areas you will get the diverse governance that will help to strategize our curriculums, to strategize our build an international university. So that is our unique model. Distinguished faculty is one of the prime USP of the Sai University. So I would like to share that we have around 50% professor is having international degree, or they have international experience from different globe. So that type of exposures will be there. Like as Professor Gopi sir is already covered the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. So So I would like to add here, like, dear student, you should always think for the another 40 years, 30 years. And being a new age universities, our curriculum is at par with the industry. So which is required for the not present world, but it will require for the future world also. Plus, we have industrial connect. Every semester we have industrial training. So you will get the industrial connect will be there. And one more important point I would like to say here, like being a interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary university, we more focus in the research. I would more emphasize as a student, you should also involve in the research, because as Professor Gopi sir is already covered, we don't know what will be the future. As an institute, we have a challenge, what content we have to teach, which is used for another 20 years, 30 years. As a student, you have a challenge, what to learn in any institute, because if you will go for the specific one area, maybe another 5 years, that type of job will be there, that type of profile may be not there. But if you have a diverse field, if that type of job will not be there, you may fit into another sort of profile. So that is why interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary model come into the picture. So that will always help you for the broader prospect and will help you the holistic way once you will enter into the job prospect. Then assessment based learning is there. We have, like, we don't have traditional based classroom semester wise exam. You have to go and write the exam. Here I would like to tell that we have a weekly basis, fortnight and monthly basis assessment is there. And assessment is like, we will give the assignment, we will give the case studies, we will give the models, we will give the some case studies. As a student, you have to sit and solve the case studies, and you have to come out with the solution. So there are different type of models for the assessment to the student. Like cultural diversity is there, like that is very much important. As a new universities from different part of India, student will be there. And I would like to say that we have around 40% student is having more than 90% and above in the academic. So that is the one area where we have to more focus. And second, not in only in the academic, we have very good student in the other diverse field like the sports, leadership, quality, and other areas. So these things are there. And along with me, my colleague is there, Mr. Sanjeev. So I would request Sanjeev to brief about the student life. You can brief about, and you can talk about the like we have some activity is there inside the campus. So that thing I would request to my colleague to cover. Yeah. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Vivek, and thank you, Professor Gopi.
Can I take a quick minute?
Yes, sure, sir.
Yeah, because Dr. Vivek mentioned about the assessment. This is a very important concern of students. So our assessment is a kind of a 360-degree assessment in all our courses. So our the grades are not determined just based on one final exam or one midterm exam. So we have a continuous assessment. So we have some weekly projects or weekly assignments, class presentations, essays or term papers. In fact, some courses may not even have exams because there are multiple ways of assessing a student, and the emphasis is not just only on the end-term exam alone. So that will be a small component. It might be 30%, but roughly 70% of our total grades or weightage is given for continuous evaluation, which could be class projects, group project, individual project, group projects, and so on. So that's what, since my colleague Dr. Vivek mentioned about the assessment, I thought I should make this sort of very specific in relating to what he said. Yeah,
that's sorry, good, sir. Even I also wanted to take your words in the assessment, because you know the better than us, and that is very important factors for the student. Yeah, Sanjeev, you can.
Thank you, Dr. Vivek, and thank you, Professor Gopi. And thank you, audience, for being here today. So one of the things is, as you know, we are a relatively new university, and there's an advantage in that for students for a few reasons. One, since we're focusing on small, but I'm not saying very small, but mid-sized cohorts, there's a lot of the faculty to student ratio is very strong. So you'll get an opportunity these growing years to have a lot of personal, undivided attention. We're not like a mass university which has like 20,000, 30,000 students in a single batch. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to interact and really pick the minds of the faculty, which is what you should be doing. Two, as the university grows, you grow with it. That is one of the advantages for a fresh batch. For example, most of the activities in the university, whether it's a music club or competitions that they go for, or robotics, are all student-driven activities. And with, of course, there will be faculty supervision just as a requirement, but we've given a lot of freedom to the students to come up with their own clubs, come up with their own extracurricular activity. And we've had a very successful team recently go to IIT Bombay and win a competition for robotics where they designed a self-driving bike. So these are the kind of things that you typically get flooded in a larger, very well-established university. But here you can be an innovator in the university. You can sort of feed your entrepreneurial spark inside the university by coming up with new ideas. And there are a lot of other things. We have about 10 to 12 active clubs. There's a coding club, there's a music and dance club, there's theater club that they're planning. So as you build, the university is not just being built by admin and faculty, but the students also have a huge role to play in building it. And I think that's something that will go a long way in your own experience. You're already part of building an institution. So many students last summer, when we were bringing in the second batch, actually interned with the admissions and outreach team. They came with us and did, they learned how to do basic marketing, how to speak, public speaking. So these are golden opportunities you get while being in parts of the system. And the student body is essentially, well, I wouldn't say monitored, but run or, is assisted and governed by a student government body, which is a group of students who are democratically elected by the students. There's no interference from faculty or administration. So they run their own elections. They get voted for different posts, from sports secretary to club secretary to vice president, president, etc. And these students, this student government body becomes the interface between the administration and the students, right? So if they have issues, if they have desires, needs that they want, and they represent, they bring it up to the student government body, and the student government then presents it to the administration for the action and required action. So that way you find that it's very interesting. And the other thing is, someone had mentioned about careers. As Dr. Gopi said, we are preparing you for a longer future, not just a short run and sprint, but for the marathon. But on that note, I'd like to add that in the last 2 batches, there have been pretty successful internships happening already at the end of the first year and end of the second year. Some of the examples are like IIT Madras, now they've been IIT Bombay, National Institute of Ocean Technology, Prodap Technologies. So there's a number of them. One worked with the UN organization on refugee crisis, helping with refugees, because she was a psychology major. So that way, what's happening is, unlike a traditional college where the faculty just teach and go, faculty at Sai University also bring with them a wealth of experience. Like Dr. Gopi's been not just an academician, he's worked in the private sector as well. So with him comes a lot of contacts. Similarly with other faculty members. So they are also helping you network right from day one and help you get internships, which will eventually lead you to a career path. And last but not the least, we have, as mentioned now by Dr. Gopi and Dr. Vivek, a stellar board of governors who are extremely well connected across different industries. So we will be leveraging those networks as well. Now, the last thing I'd like to say is, we do not segregate the students. Although they technically, for certain classes, they are they're in School of Computing Data Science, School of Arts and Science, but the buildings are interconnected. So you quite often find students will be in common groups from mixed backgrounds, right? One would be a computer scientist, one would be a psychology major. our robotics team that won the competition in Bombay actually had, out of the 3-member team, one was an arts and science student. She was not a computer science or data science student. So what we're trying to impress upon you is that your interaction with your peers and colleagues, I mean your fellow students, will be of a very interdisciplinary nature, and that itself will lead to a lot of cross-discipline learning and enriching experience. So yeah, with that I will hand it back to the floor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Sanjeev, and also Dr. Vivek and Professor Gopi for telling us about the admission process, the methodology, and how the students at Sai University go through such an enriching experience, which is, I'm sure everybody will agree, very different from what a traditional university might offer. Before we wind up, I would, have a couple of questions on behalf of the audience. If, we can spend 5 minutes talking about if the university offers certain scholarships and what are the criteria for that, and also a bit on the accommodation facilities, the hostel facilities, because I'm sure these are things which a lot of our students would want to know. Over to you, sir. So anybody can take this question up.
I'm taking this scholarship. So let me share my screen. So hope you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir, we can see.
So dear applicant, we have like exclusively scholarship for the Mindler students. So based on the academic performance, you can explore the scholarship. And like first one is the district topper. We have 100% scholarship for all the undergraduate programs. Second is for the young scholarship, 50% scholarship is there based on the academic performance, like CBSE 90% to 100, you will get the 50% scholarship. And third one is the merit scholarship, is 25% in the CBSE board, 80 to 89%. So based on the boards and based on the ranking or your academic performance percentage, we have academic scholarship, and that is exclusively for the Mindler student. And as I tell in my presentations, like we focus in the other activities like extracurricular and co-curricular activities. So I would like to explain here, we have like somebody is doing good in the sports, or somebody doing good in the like other activities, international, national level, will be eligible for the 50% scholarship, and state level student eligible for the 25% scholarship. We have up to 100% scholarship. So based on your academic performance, you can fill the applications. And my Sanjeev, my colleague, is here who will talk about the second questions which he asked Sana, is for the residence things.
Sorry, what was the question again?
So, sir, if you could throw some more light on the accommodation facilities, the hostels,
okay.
and for students who might be wanting to stay on.
Sanjeev, you can add here hostels plus transport, both you can add.
Sure. So we have two kind of scholars, the residential scholars and the day scholars. In fact, till last year we had strictly only residential, but this year we've opened up for day scholars as well as a formal option. And we have, for day scholars, we have a transport service from the city, because the university being slightly away from the city, as most universities are on, especially large universities, like we are on 103-acre land. So it's will naturally be outside on the outskirts. So we offer bus services at 50,000 rupees a year bus fees, or you stay in the residential villas, which is the hostel on the campus is about getting built. It will take maybe another semester, and then you'll have the first phase of hostels inside the campus built, and then all students will be moved there. But till such time, we have taken a beautiful set of gated community villas, about 20-minute commute from the university, right? And where it is, each villa is like either a 2 BHK or a 3 BHK, with each room having 2 people sharing it, with each room having its own attached toilet. And all rooms are air conditioned. You have your Wi-Fi, you have a common TV area, you've got a gym, you've got a basketball court. So you have all the amenities you would have in any kind of gated community luxury villa, but we wanted to make sure that till such time that we have a hostel inside the campus, we wanted to provide the students with the best of facilities so that they can go back and study comfortably or relax and have fun with your friends. So the hostel fees for residential scholars is 1.8 lakhs a year. We do not have any scholarship for that. I just want to emphasize that. So all our scholarships are based on tuition fee, but for residential, it has to be paid if you're taking the residential fees. And we have in the hostels 2 wardens, a male warden and a lady warden. And we have security guards who are employed full-time there with security cameras. So, there's no safety issues. In this residential fee of 1.8 lakhs also includes 3 meals a day. Typically, breakfast and dinner will be served at the place of stay. And it will be a mix of North and South Indian food, and there'll be both vegetarian and non-vegetarian options. And in fact, the menu is decided by the student. The student committee takes the popular opinion of the students and they come up with the food menu. So, it's really their pick and their choice. So the students have a say even in that. We don't force them saying that you have to eat only this is what we can give you. Whatever the students come up with becomes the menu. So these are the basic aspects of the hostel and transport. And when the hostel comes up in the campus, similar structure, except that it won't be villas, it'll be like apartments, and it'll be the same twin sharing, 2 people to a room. And the other thing about that is, except in very exceptional cases, the new students who come in, your roommate is randomly allocated to you. So it's not like only people from computer and data science will stick together, or arts and science will be in the same class or same room. One of the ideas is to make sure that you stay with a law student, or if you're a computer science student, or you're an arts and science student, so that you, even when you're over your dinner and getting to know a new person, your experience will be on a broader horizon. So yeah, that's the main aspects of the stay part.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure our audience has a few more questions and they want to know more about the fee structure and all. So that a couple of them have already been answered in the chat box, but any questions that even our audience would have further, if there's an email ID or contact or anybody they could reach out directly from the university, and we can put that in chat box, that would be really helpful for students who are interested or have more questions later on as well.
Yeah,
and thank you so much, Professor Gopi. Thank you so much, Dr. Vivek and Mr. Sanjeev, for telling us and our audience more about the Sai University and the holistic approach the university takes and the amazing interdisciplinary nature of all the courses. I'm sure when they go through the university websites, a lot of students, parents might have more questions. And Dr. Vivek has been generous to share a couple of contact numbers and an email ID, which you can directly reach out to. But please go back and check the university website and you'll get more information. And thank you so much for all the panelists here. Thank you so much for everybody who took out the time to join in. And even beyond the webinar, like we said, if there's anything you want to know more about, you can directly reach out. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shana. Thank you, Arishi.
Thank you, Arshi.
Gopal sir, Gopi sir, and Sanjeev.
Yeah. Thank you,
Everyone,
Dr.
thank you.